All right, let's take a look at one of the stocks that we did in the breakout session today. That's where I basically start with a blank chart and see if we can find anything as far as a trade setup. The only place that I really found any type of setup in FedEx was on the weekly chart, okay, and that's because I could look at some of these larger swings and kind of compare them to, you know, these swings, and look for multiple price relationships. We had retracements, extensions, and projections of prior swings, and I did find two areas that stood out to look for possible buy triggers. Okay, the first area is really this 214.02 to 217.95 area with let's see, a couple of retracements, an extension, and a projection of one of these prior swings, because those are similar. And there were also other projections, and let's see, a 50% retracement and another extension at the 209 to 212 area. So those are the support decisions. You have to remember that the way that you make money with this work is setup plus trigger equals trade entry, and then you manage it. So we have a setup. We do have key price support. What you may not have, however, is a trigger that tells you that it's okay to place a bet just yet. I'm going to open up the, let's just open up my trigger chart here. So FedEx, if we're looking at a 15-minute chart, it actually looks like you may have gotten the, well, yeah, swing trade trigger. But as far as, that's on a 15-minute chart, that's the aggressive swing trade trigger chart. But you haven't gotten it on the regular 30-minute chart yet. You just have to know that if you are using the aggressive swing trade trigger, you will get stopped out more often. It's just, how much you think of the setup at that time. Otherwise, you should wait for the signal on the 30-minute chart, and then you can look at a bullish strategy, maybe using options against that support, and define your risk underneath whatever the low is that's made prior to your buy trigger, or you can just define your risk underneath the low end of the zone. Either way is okay. So that's what I'm looking at in FedEx, and know that I'm totally wrong if we break underneath the support. Okay, you need to know when you're wrong the trade. Otherwise, you just end up getting married to it, and it just eats away at your capital.